Chain gangs are often used as a means to get cheap, menial, or physically challenging work out of prisoners, which often entails being taken out of prison to perform tasks such as repairing buildings, building roads, or clearing land. However, when it comes to taking out chain gangs, there is one big risk. Escape is so much easier. In fact, while exploring the open world of Red Dead Redemption 2, you can in fact see members of chain gangs escaping. However, no, today's video is not about those inconsequential encounters, but in fact about a pair of escaped criminals that you can meet at Rhodes. Of course, I mean the ties that bind us side missions. To start these missions, you need to head to Rhodes, where if the mission has become available, you will see this strange mission icon appear. Eventually, when you enter this area, you will find our two escaped prisoners. These two poor gents are having a pathetic tussle, wearing stripy clothing, which implies that they've broken out of prison. Naturally, I sat and watched for a solid minute to see what would happen, because honestly, this is the most entertainment that I've had all week. If we get a bit closer, we will be provided with the option to intervene.
What you fools up to? It's Mr. Black's fault.
His fault, the darky white. Well, I don't know why they call him that. Look at him.
Don't you start now.
I'll knock the color clean off you. Come on.
And I'll tar you, you lily-livered... Enough! You two fools look like you've just run off a chain gang.
Yeah, what of it?
What are you doing? Starving.
They got bounty posters for us all over town.
And we can't go into town to get supplies.
Say, mister, maybe you can do us fools a favor. We ain't bad guys at all. He's okay, even for a darky.
Shut it, you pasty-faced streak of piss!
Yeah, I had up to here with you.
Enough! Do your goddamn favor what you want.
Maybe you can go into town and take down them wanted posters of us.
Okay.
Maybe meet us back at the campfire in the woods and tell us how you did.
Maybe bring us a little bite to eat? Don't push your luck. Nice fella.
Yeah, you love nice fellas.
Don't you start up again. Just shut up.
You shut up!
So, the two escaped prisoners' names are Mr. Black and Mr. White. Mr. Black is white and Mr. White is black. The racial aspect is somewhat important to this video, but I'll explain that at the end. Anyway, you can question these fine gents on where to find the wanted posters, however I could just show you, so it doesn't matter. So here are the locations of the 5 wanted posters looking for Mr. Black and Mr. White, scattered all over Rhodes. One is in the train station, another is in front of the gun store, another is at the sheriff's office, one is on a lamppost on the eastern side of town, and the final one is in the hands of a bounty hunter already. Before we get onto that, during this mission you can overhear conversations regarding Mr. Black and Mr. White, conveniently considering you're looking for their wanted posters.
But as usual, you're spreading lies.
Lies?
Every fool knows the charges were trumped up.
But the darky killed a white man.
Jimmy Holdaker had a weak heart. He died of a heart attack.
Nonsense.
And Samson Black was set up. Everyone knows Judge Amory took a bribe.
You don't believe that, do you?
Sure.
And you call me a gossip?
Dealing with the bounty hunter is probably the hardest part of this, so let's go sort that.
Mr. Black and Mr. White.
Mister, I need that poster. There's been a recall.
I weren't born yesterday. This one's mine, so you can go and get your own.
The best move to pull here is to follow this man slightly out of town, prod him to draw on you somehow by pissing him off, and then hog-tying the man before he murders you. Now you can safely loot the man for his bounty poster and leave him be. The bounty poster down by the gunsmith can also be a little bit less straightforward to get.
Hey, I need to get to that poster behind you. Would you move a little?
I will not. Deputy put up plenty. Go get one of those.
Please, mister, I'll just reach by. It won't take but a second.
I'm leaning on it. Find one that ain't in use.
Hey, move. I need that poster.
Oh, I'll move all right. How's this for moving?
Why do some people insist on being difficult knowing full well they're just going to get chinned? Before heading back to Mr. Black and Mr. White, it is worth reading the bounty poster. It doesn't specify what Mr. Black and Mr. White did, but it issues a $40 reward for each, and claims that they are considered very dangerous. All it says other than that is that they are wanted for return after escaping from a chain gang. Let's return to Mr. Black and Mr. White, who will now be marked CG as in chain gang. You will find them at a rather cozy little camp in the woods. I don't know with what supplies they set up this camp, but fair enough.
Hey, friend.
Hello.
How was it in town?
Pretty hot. There's quite a price on you boys.
It is so unfair. I didn't do nothing.
Well, they said you was wanted for murder.
It wasn't murder. It was self-defense.
You killed a farmer?
Firstly, I would have, but he died before I could. And secondly, well, he had it coming. I don't like to say.
Well, ain't no business of mine. Here's the posters.
Thanks, partner. That's that, then.
That's that.
Free at last.
After every single encounter you have with Mr. Black and Mr. White, no matter what, they'll wind up bickering. This is not the last you'll see of Mr. Black and Mr. White. The next time you'll encounter them up near Dewberry Creek. This time you'll find them in a pickle of a different variety. The dodgy pickle variety.
Hey, mister. Oh, hey, friend.
You boys don't look so fresh.
We ain't.
I think we're dying, friend.
We ate some bad mushrooms.
Bad business, sure.
It's been real tough, partner.
So it seems.
I hate to ask, but we need some medicine. Kind of fast.
Medicine?
Yeah, look at us. Look at me. And he's worse than he looks.
Oh.
And he looks like shit. He ain't gonna last 3 days. And me, I ain't well. Not at all.
Not at all.
I'm begging you, partner. Why? I told you, help us. I told you, did I?
You did. You told me. You told me a lot of things.
We're gonna be all right, buddy.
Are we?
Well, physically, drink this.
I'll give it to Black first.
No. Don't give it to Whitey.
No, no.
Drink this and
Take
shut
it.
up.
Thank you.
Oh, that's good stuff. Woo.
But listen, I reckon you boys should get on out of here. Maybe split up. Head up north or overseas. They don't like groups of men. I know.
I hear you, boss. It's time. Oh, once we're better.
Oh, yeah, well, I agree. I mean, I can't wait to be rid of you. Embarrassing.
Embarrassing?
Yeah, you're an embarrassment.
Well, be embarrassed no more. Get back to where folks like you, and I'll go where they like me.
I shall.
Shut up, will you?
With pleasure.
Again, the encounter ends with the two bickering ever so slightly. So they ate some dodgy mushrooms and became sick, and Arthur came along and helped them out with a health cure. After this, if you stick around, these two gents will insist that they're alright, and so I guess we can leave them until their next encounter, which will be up in Big Valley along Little Creek River. Upon approaching, you will be met by another question mark. So let's go take a look at what our escaped, supposedly wrongfully convicted murderers are now up to. They appear to now be living in a house on stilts, with a ladder that is raised so you can't get up there. Hiding out in the woods, seemingly far away from anyone who would want to look for them. And with Hanging Dog Ranch housing loads of outlaws as is, the law heading this way would be suicide. So let's go see what our escapee friends are saying.
Hey, you all right, mister? Can we help you?
I'm fine. Oh, I know you two.
Hey, look who it is.
I barely recognized you boys on account of you not trying to kill each other.
Yeah, well, somebody learned his manners. Finally.
So you boys didn't run away.
Now, nobody looking out here. I reckon we're okay.
All right. But the law's pretty vigorous these days.
I told you we should leave, but did you want to listen? Oh, no. Mr. High and Mighty, he don't listen to no one.
Oh, would you just shut up?
I will not. I will not shut up.
You know what? You'll shut up when I shut you up.
Oh, that's real funny. I cannot believe it. I'm stuck out here with only you to talk to. I get a better conversation from the goddamn trees.
I know. I've seen you talking to them. They should have hanged you for being a moron.
You're an unkind man, Mr. Black.
Oh, let me in. Let me in. Open the door. Come on, let me in. I'll kill you myself.
Go away.
Let me in. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Now let me in.
Go away.
I'll make dinner. Again. I'm sorry.
Say you're sorry again.
I'm real sorry.
They're like a married couple, aren't they? This is the final encounter we'll have with Mr. Black and Mr. White, so let's make it worthwhile. Yes, it would appear as if after this point you can just kill them. If you had a wagon, you could probably climb into this shack, however I would argue that there's not really much of interest actually in there, especially not now. Regardless of whether or not you decide to throw all your Molotovs at this place, if you leave and come back, Mr. Black and Mr. White will be gone. It may shock you to realise that this entire side mission line may in fact be an Easter egg, as the situation in which Mr. Black and Mr. White find themselves in is very similar to the 1958 movie The Defiant Ones, in which two escaped convicts are chained together, one black and one white, and in order to survive they need to overcome racist prejudices about one another. It's also worth noting that during the first encounter, after you've gathered all of the wanted posters, you can choose to actually turn Mr. Black and Mr. White in. As a reward for this, you will get $40. There's a big debate as to whether or not these two are innocent or guilty, and the game encourages this. Mr. White claims he was going to kill a man, but the man had a heart attack before he could, and was convicted for the murder anyway. And Mr. Black was supposedly imprisoned because the judge took a bribe. However, he claims that he killed the man in self-defense. So are Samson Black and Wendell White innocent or guilty? Let me know which you think. While free, do they pose any danger to society? During the first encounter, if you paid attention to Mr. Black and Mr. White, they appeared to have bits of blood on them, with a heavy amount on Mr. Black's hands. If you choose to turn the pair in, a line of dialogue implies that on their escape, Mr. Black killed the guard.
You tell them they send me back to the chain gang, I'll cut up another guard.
So maybe even if they're innocent of the crimes that they were found guilty of, they may be dangerous because they are capable of committing such heinous crimes. That being said, if you do choose to help them, they don't seem to engage in further criminal activities, but of course let me know what you think down in the comment section. But that concludes today's video on the ties that bind us side mission chain in Red Dead Redemption 2. So thank you all for watching, I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, share the channel with your friends and all that wonderful stuff, that'd be super appreciated. And I will see you all very soon with another video at some point.